Okay, well, today is Friday, and we're back in the kitchen with Laura, and we're looking at our
Ethiopian Injera leet, or batter. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do the second part of the process, which is usually on day 3. Our batter has started to ferment.
Oops, sorry. All right, you're right.
And what we want to do, the batter has started to ferment and bubble up, and what we're going to do is we are going to drain off a little bit of this top stuff, and we don't have a lot in this particular batter, but that's okay.
You had said that normally if it had been warmer, we had some cold weather, and so it slowed down some of the activity.
Absolutely.
I think normally it would have bubbled up, and then is it this scum on top that we want? I thought it was going to be liquid that we didn't want.
It would be clear on top, and we would pour that off.
Sort of like what you did yesterday with this stuff.
That's correct. But today we are, because of the cold weather, it didn't bubble as fast. But because we want to make our injera today and not tonight at 12 o'clock or tomorrow, we're going to go with it as it is. And the continuation of the bubbling up and fermentation process will happen when we add the self-rising flour.
With the baking powder or baking soda stuff in it. Okay, that's good. Well, so if we had all the time in the world, we would wait. But since we have to eat, because I've invited people for dinner tonight, we don't have that luxury, and we're going to go ahead anyway. And the really good thing about doing this is that if it happens to somebody else, they won't think they did something wrong. They'll figure out that, okay, that's it. And also, Shori here is helping us make some sambosas, samosas, whatever, for an appetizer in case our friends get here before we're finished. And this recipe is, Laura says it's not particularly Ethiopian, but it is something like this is served in a lot of Ethiopian restaurants nowadays, so it seems to be popular kind of food anyway. Okay, let's go.
Okay. We're going to add 2 cups of self-rising flour to 2 cups of water in my measuring container. So I'm going to start with 2 cups of water, and if by chance, and I don't know if I can, I might just take a spoon and see if I could get a little bit of that off, but I'm not too worried about it because it's
take the 2 cups of water, and you added just 1 cup of flour, did you?
I'm going to add another one, but I'm going to mix this up first.
And we are using wheat flour again.
This is the self-rising flour that can be purchased in the store, or you can do your homemade.
Sure, and we'll get that. I believe I put that on my blog once, but there are recipes on the internet.
I'm going to let you go ahead, dump that in, and then beat this up till there are no more lumps in there. We could use a bigger bowl, but then we have less to clean this way.
Exactly. Sometimes when things get stuck in my whisk, I just use a knife to sort of, push them down, and then I can do that again. Okay, so we're just going to blend that until it's pretty mixed up, and then it'll start bubbling, right, because it's got baking powder. It has both baking powder and baking soda, doesn't it?
I think that's what my recipe that I just looked up within the...
what did they call it?
This is not an Ethiopian matad. This is an electric Teflon skillet that I don't use it for anything else, and I never put oil on it.
So it's never seen oil.
It's never seen oil, and I use it exclusively for my injera.
Okay, now this has been, a couple hours?
This has been a couple hours, and it has bubbled up very nicely, and now I'm going to stir it.
Can I feel so I just feel what that feels like? Oh, okay, because it's thinner than a crepe batter then.
Oh, yeah.
Shori, you should come and feel this so you can feel it. Are you sure it's too thick? It seems thin, but she should know. We can always ask Ken.
I was just very surprised. I thought it would be
thicker, like heavy cream or something.
Yeah,
that's
like
what I thought.
Cream. What I'll do is I will.
Why don't you make one, and then if it's too thick,
I'll make one and see how it feels.
Okay. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to
do you have a saucer?
Sure.
Batter, and it's about a half a cup of leet batter.
Leet batter. We have to make sure we save some of this for us for next time. And then you go in up and down, huh?
And what I do is... Okay. I make sure that it's just covered the bottom, and I try to have about the same thickness.
And it'll bubble up like that.
And then it bubbles up.
Cool. And
I think I timed it before. It might be 2 minutes.
And it's about 400 degrees. Is that what you had it at?
It's a little... Actually, it slipped up. I turned it down a little bit.
What do you cook it at about?
About 375.
About 375 on this skillet. And oh yeah, look at how it's already cooking faster than pancake.
And then I'm going to need a
spatula,
flipper like something like this.
Yeah, well there are two, a thin one and a thick one. Which one do you want?
Okay, I'll try this one.
The thick one, okay.
Right.
Okay, and you can just see that it's getting dried around the edges, and it's getting brown, bubbles like that. Yes. And it's fairly thin. It's just like not even an eighth of an inch thick, is it? Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see by the time it's cooked what it looks like. You don't want it too thick.
Okay.
The thing with this is you really can't do too much in between, or so you have to kind of.
Now you set a cloth and some towels on the table. And do you need a metal thing to set the bread on, or you put it right on the cloth?
No. I put it on the cloth, and it cools.
Okay.
Then once it cools, I stack them.
Oh, okay.
And I will actually put them in fact, we could use one of those big bags. I put it in a gigantic Ziploc bag to keep it, once it's cool, to keep it fresh.
Okay, because when I make crepes, for example, if I'm going to freeze them, I will do them, and I will, instead of putting them directly on that, I'll put them on a little metal thing individually to cool, and then I will stack them somewhere.
Okay. Well, Ethiopians put them on a basket. And the basket, they have a basket that's the right shape, and and then it cools, and then they move it to the stack, and then the next one. And
so the basket though is raised up, right? So the air circulates around.
Well, not really.
Oh, they just set it in a basket.
It's a flat basket.
Okay.
Specifically for that.
Okay.
Now that is a little bit gooey, so usually I let that go.
Because you're not going to flip this over, right? You only cook this on one side, and you don't want to have any soft part
turn it up
in the center.
You don't want one that's soft, and you don't want it soft in the center.
But it won't get too brown too dry on the outside.
Well, so far it's looking good.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And it just doesn't stick, huh?
Well, that's the idea.
Okay. All right. So it's almost ready, huh?
Yeah. In fact, I think maybe it is ready.
Okay. Now, how are you going to get it over there?
Well, the problem is that we have. Let's see. It's dry. I probably left it too long.
Okay.
That's okay though. I think maybe
I'll
it
turn
was
this
thick
one
in the
off
middle.
for a second.